Welcome back to Aunt Debbie's Boutique. If you're new to this channel, it would be helpful if you would watch the introduction video because it would explain more about what we try to do and what supplies are needed. I'll link it below. Today's video is going to be pretty short and sweet because we're just going to learn one advanced task, and that is turning tubes. When we made a bag recently, we used a different method of making our straps, but I wanted to show you this other method just so you'd learn how to do it. So what I have are some pieces of fabric that were the same size as our straps, and in that video we turned under a 1/4 inch on each side, and then we folded it in the middle and we stitched it on both sides. And that was fairly simple to do, but it did take a little bit of time. A more preferred method might be the tube turning, and I'm going to show you two different methods to turn tubes. First of all, we put our fabric with right sides together, just like this, and we sew a 1/4 inch all the way down the edge. And on this one I also sewed across the top and then cut the seam at an angle here, cut off the excess so we could get a good point when we folded it. Sometimes you're instructed to do that and sometimes you're not, but that helps with the first method. Then to turn it right side out, and this is the part some people have problems with and why I wanted to do a tutorial on it. Obviously the smaller the tube, and they could get pretty small, like if you're making spaghetti straps for a dress or a top, those can get really small. So this is kind of a medium size, and the bigger they are, the big ones, you can use your thumb to turn them. But you get them started just a little bit down here on this end by pushing it in. And then you take something long and pointed, kind of like the scissor or a stick of some sort, a dowel rod, pencil, and you just tug on the sides and push it down until you get it all on here. I hope it'll all fit on this scissor. I may not have picked the best instrument to turn it with because these scissors are wider than I thought. I'm going to switch out scissors. I think this pair is going to work better. It's longer, not so wide. You just keep working with it until the point comes out the other end, till you can see it. And once you can see it enough to grab hold of it, you can pull your instrument out and just tug it like this, and you've turned it. Then you'll have to iron it, of course. You'll want to turn your top edge completely out, and you can use like a pin or a seam ripper or something like that. so you have nice clean corners. And then you will just press it all the way down, and then you can come back and top stitch, and you have your strap made. Okay, a simpler method, but of course it costs a little money, is one of these tube turning kits. I absolutely love these. On this one, we're going to find a tube that fits, that's the closest fit. That one might be too little. Let's see, this one may be too big, so we might have to go with that one. Yeah, that one's just a little bit too big, so we'll stick with this one. It'll work. And what you do is just feed it on there. And then it comes with 2 different length wires for whatever you need. Looks like we're going to need the longer one for this tube. And you'll stick it in the end. Do you see the little, let me hold it still, the little twisty point on the end of this? We're going to stick it through our tube so it comes out the other side. And then we're going to hook the fabric onto it. You push it in and then give it a little twist so it catches your fabric. Now all we do is pull on the other, well, it came out. Let's try it again. I didn't have the fabric hooked good enough, apparently. Put it in there. I'm going to give it a couple little twists. Okay, and then start pulling it out. It's doing the same thing to me. Only on a demonstration would this happen. Okay. Now let's see if we can get it to come through. There we go. And you just continue to pull it until it comes out the other end. And on this one I didn't sew the end closed. But you can just also pull out the very end with a pin. And there we go with our turned tube. That was fast. Okay. I'll just iron it real quick. And show you where you should top stitch. And I'm going to have to move the camera slightly to get my ironing board. On this one that I didn't sew the end closed, I'm going to iron the seam down the back, down the center back. That way it won't show in a lot of uses. It just depends on what you're making the tube for. But like in a bag, it would be on the inside. Then we would top stitch on both sides of this. and we have one strap done. On this one, since I did sew the end closed, I'm going to press it so the seam is one of the pressed seams, not down the back. And it's always good to make your straps maybe an inch longer than they call for, so you can, and then trim them down after they're turned, just in case you run into any problems on the end, and you can just trim it down. But there we have 2 straps. Both of them were very simple to make, and I don't know if you like this method better than the ironing over of 1/4 inch and ironing 2, but now you have options. Thank you for joining me today. Next week, we're going to make a prayer pillow. So be sure and tune in on Saturday when it comes out. And remember, whatever you do, do it to the glory of God. And if you would please like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would be very appreciative. Leave me some comments too on feedback. Thank you.